I Feel So was released as the first single from Boxcar Racer's self-titled debut record, Boxcar Racer. The album came out on May 21st, 2002, and the single was released on June 6, 2002. Jerry Finn, Blink-182's longtime producer, produced this song and the entire Boxcar Racer record for that matter. Travis Barker also played drums on the record, meaning that three of the key people from Blink, Tom, Travis, and Jerry Finn, were directly involved with Boxcar Racer, whereas Mark Hoppus wasn't. Ultimately, though Boxcar Racer's existence was a short one, it ended up being one of the major reasons why Blink-182 disbanded in 2005. I'm going to read to you a quote from Tom DeLonge about that in just a bit. As mentioned, I Feel So was released as the first single from Boxcar Racer's record. The song is a heavier and angrier song than what you would expect to hear from Blink-182, which is partly why Tom DeLonge started Boxcar Racer in the first place, in order to make something musically outside the boundaries of Blink. In Tom DeLonge's own words, Boxcar Racer started out as something to do in some spare time that was really only expected to be on the low list of the totem pole of priorities in my life, and just to have an experimental creative outlet. The Boxcar Racer record was recorded over the course of 6 weeks from parts of December 01 to January of 02. The September 11th attacks were still fresh on everyone's minds at that point, and as a matter of fact, Blink-182's remaining tour dates in 2001 were cancelled because of the attacks. That same year, Travis Barker had introduced Tom to heavier music, in particular post-hardcore bands like Fugazi, Quicksand, and Pitchfork. During much of the recording and writing process for the Boxcar Racer record, Tom DeLonge also had a lot of back pain, and in his own words, that contributed to the darker mood of a lot of the record. When your back is killing you, and you have to have surgery and all this stuff, it's just kind of hard to keep a focus on the happier times in your life. You end up writing all these songs about feeling sad and confused. When it comes to I Feel So in particular, that song essentially is about a kid being frustrated, confused, and angry with the world. Tom DeLonge said the following in an interview with MTV in 2004. It's just a song about feelings. It's really just about being a kid. Not really being a kid, but just about being angry at the world and kind of wishing you were a different way. But you can't be a different way, so you feel angry, and you feel mad, and you feel sad. And that's what's in this song. There are 2 different edits of this song. The one that was released as a single officially tracks in at 3.5 minutes, whereas the album cut tracks in at about 4.5 minutes. Both versions are available on Boxcar Racer's YouTube channel. The music video for the song was made to the 3.5-minute version. Tom DeLonge was actually one of the directors for the video, the other being Nathan Cox. In the video, shots of the band performing are intercut with shots of 2 young children, a boy and a girl. Both children are in separate bedrooms and seem to be dealing with some sort of extraterrestrial activity. In particular, with the boy, the things in his bedroom start to shake and fall down. This scene was actually inspired by Steven Spielberg's film Close Encounters with the Third Kind. Though the song was not a smash hit, it did manage to get to the number 8 spot on the US alternative airplay charts and number 6 on the UK rock and metal charts. Additionally, the video got a lot of airplay on stations like MTV2 and Much Music. But you could make the argument that the real legacy of the song, and in general, the real legacy of Boxcar Racer, is the impact it had on Blink-182. In 2005, Tom DeLonge said the following. One of the craziest things about Boxcar Racer is that it was both the greatest and the worst thing for Blink. It was obviously the reason why we made that last record, 2003 self-titled album, which I thought was a masterpiece, but it also caused a great division in the band. It was really hard for Mark. He thought it was really lame Travis and I went and did that, but it was a totally benign thing on my part because I only asked Travis to play drums because I didn't want to pay for a studio drummer. It wasn't meant to be a real band. But even before Blink was finished, Mark and Travis went out and started Plus 44, and I didn't even know until months later. In retrospect, it's interesting to hear that because initially the project was not thought of as something that would threaten Blink's existence. The following is an earlier quote from Tom DeLonge. We love what we do way too much for anything to ever happen to Blink. And we are so blessed by the man upstairs to even have that in our lives. That's our passion. This is just part 2 of that. There's no need for it at all, actually. It's just really something to do in some spare time. This is just for fun in the few days we have off from our real jobs. Though Boxcar Racer contributed to the end of Blink-182 at the time, it also led to their evolution musically with their self-titled record in 2003. And Boxcar Racer does hold its own. In my opinion, I think it was cool seeing that heavier side of Tom. I personally would love to see Blink-182 go in a heavier musical direction one day. In my opinion, the only Blink-182 song that really showcases a strong sense of anger is Stay Together for the Kids, specifically during the chorus when Tom is singing. Stay Together for the Kids was released as a single from Take Off Your Pants and Jacket, Blink's fourth record. Take Off Your Pants and Jacket was recorded through parts of January to March of 2001, and it was during various points in these sessions where Tom DeLonge first started writing music for what would end up becoming Boxcar Racer. I did a video about Stay Together for the Kids, by the way. If you want to see that video, the link is available in the description box below.